All right, this is my blueprint. It's not really mine. Principles have been around a long time, but it's my organization of it that I've used for a long time. And I just want to pour into you, and maybe one of these will be of use to you. Number one, when you look at this next year and what you want to accomplish, number one, you got to identify. So write down the word identify under number one. Identify what you want. You've got to know what you want. And then you got to fall in love with what you want. When your heart is in it, the barriers break down. Number two, know why you want it. W-H-Y. What are the reasons? Tony Robbins would always say, when I worked with him, he would always say, reasons come first and answers come second. You got to have the reasons. Number three, create a vivid picture in your mind of what it is you want. Can you clearly see in your mind's eye what your future looks like? What type of presenter are you? What type of a service provider are you? Right? You've got to be able to see it on the inside. Everything's created on two levels. First on the inside, second on the outside. You got to get the inside right though. Number four, you must write it down. Write down your goals. Don't rely on memory. Write it down. I don't know if any of you have had this experience where you wrote down a set of goals, you lost that piece of paper, and 5 or 10 years later, you found that piece of paper and you realized 80% of those goals you had accomplished. Anybody had that experience? I know I have. Right? It's unbelievable. And all you did was write it down. There's something neuromuscular that happens by writing something down. It embeds itself in your brain. It embeds itself in your subconscious when you write things down. So write things down. By the way, what's the difference from humans and animals? Let me ask you this. Okay, right. Right. That's good. Here's the main difference. Let me ask you this. Can an animal be conditioned? Yes or no? Yes. Can a human be conditioned? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. The difference is only a human can separate his or her thinking enough to change his or her own programming. An animal cannot do that. An animal cannot think about what they're thinking about and then make new choices, analyze, and make a new decision going forward. This is what separates you. You have the ability, with the right tools, to change your own programming. And that goes on to the next one. Review, or you can put 2 words here, /dwell. Review or dwell with energy and conviction, believing that you can achieve it. Every day, you've got to sell yourself on why your dreams are important to you. Every day, you got to make sure you're focused on why it can happen versus why it can happen. You may feel like that you've had a failure after a failure, or a disappointment after a disappointment. You got to not live there. You have to go, no, this is my dream. This is what I want to accomplish. And keep looking. Claim what you want. And then review it in your mind's eye. My world looks like this. I'm writing 2 books right now, one with my daughter and one on the power to shape your life. And I'll tell you something. I envision every day what that book needs to look like. Who does it need to reach? Right? Who do I need to get endorsements from? Right? It's those kinds of things that you've got to bombard your thinking with whatever that picture is. Whatever it is. Number 6, develop a game plan. You've got to develop a game plan. If you don't know where you're going, how will you ever recognize it when you've arrived? How will you know? What are going to be your milestones? What are going to be your little successes along the way that you can check off and go, okay, I'm making progress. I'm moving forward. That's going to be key that you capture that ahead of time, right? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Number 7, take action. Action is king. Action is king. And this is the toughest part. Number 1, as was mentioned earlier, we don't take action consistently. And the other thing is, there's fear involved sometimes. Taking the action you know you need to take. I'm telling you right now, trust the unknown. Trust it. Just do it for me. If you can't do it for yourself right now, trust that if you will step into that place or make that phone call or confront that person or forgive that person or apologize to that person, all of a sudden you realize it wasn't as bad as you thought it would be. All right. Number 8, review the results. Look at your results and decide, is this taking me where I ultimately want to go? Number 8 is review the results. Number 9, if needed, adjust and take more action. When Harlan Stonecipher called me and said, in 2 months, I want you to speak in Oklahoma City. I'll give you a little picture here. All I had was a rough manuscript in my hand. So within a month, I had to figure out, how am I going to get this published? Who's going to edit it? How are we going to get it shipped? And most importantly, where am I going to get the money to print 15,000 copies? So I called my brother for that one. I'm just saying, where there's necessity, you'll figure out a way. The problem with many people in America is, this is a cush place to be poor, let me just say. Right? I mean, come on. I mean, I can get a lot of rewards for not. I'm just saying, the system. But I'm saying, here's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you are seeking to push yourself and become all that you're capable of becoming. And that requires you to adjust from time to time, change, which most people avoid. I wish we could go deeper into these. Number 10, this is key. Key. Celebrate your wins. When you get a result that you're hoping for, jump up and down if you're all alone in your house or something. Get excited. Say, yeah, I did it. That feels good. Celebrate your wins. Even little ones. You're going to make a little win and be like, no one's even going to notice this, but this is making me feel really good right now. Be good with that. Embrace it. Feel it. And then sell yourself that you're on course. Say to yourself, I can create more of these opportunities. I'm unstoppable. I can make things happen. Things always work out for me. That's better than saying, TJ, you're such an idiot. Right? You've got to make sure those word tracks that you're using on a regular basis, that they are taking you where you ultimately want to go. And when you have a negative thought, something do you want to say that's negative, don't speak it. Power is in the tongue. Don't speak it if it's negative, if it's demeaning. Don't speak it. Where do you want to go? Right? Always looking, where do I want to go? I trust that I can get there. 1 foot in front of the other, right? Yard by yard, everything is hard. Inch by inch, everything is a cinch.